The fun never ends with these three best friends. The fun never ends with the boys. With the boys.
Oh, you're listening to WIUX LP Bloomington, and this is The Boys Cold 1 Hour. I'm Jonathan.
I'm Clay.
And I'm Billy.
We've got a great episode for you this week.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in.
Thank you so much for tuning in. We got a great episode, as Jonathan said. We're going to, before we get started, we want you to sit back.
Grab a cold one.
Yeah.
And
open it.
You know what to do to
Pop it up on your skull.
No, just crack
Just
it open.
bust it on your head.
Crack it open.
Crack it open nice and easy.
You get a can opener. Open up the can.
Open up the can opener package to access your can opener.
Yeah.
You can use your hands for that.
Yeah. You might need some scissors for it. I don't know.
Yeah. Be very careful with
scissors. Yeah. But you're going to need some scissors to open up your new scissors first.
Yes. And there's no better scissors than
your hands.
Than your teeth.
The Boys Cold 1 Hour branded scissors.
Yes. Go to boys1hour.com/store.
Slash scissors.
That doesn't even exist.
We actually only sell scissors, saws, screwdrivers, just tools around the house.
Yeah. Knives.
Yeah.
Knives. Daggers.
Basically, whatever you have to do, crack open a cold one.
Crack it open.
There we go.
Oh. You know, I think this is let's get a little creative in this episode. This might be a moonshine cold one, I think.
Ooh.
Who are those boys on the radio? They've got some cold ones on their own show. So open up your ears, listen to us. Forget your fears, there's no need to fuss, cause the fun never ends with these three best friends. The fun never ends with the boys. With the boys.
Yeehaw.
Yeehaw.
Cowboy
Woohoo!
No. Not Cowboy Week.
I was taking a stroll.
You were taking a stroll
in my fields with my steed. With my steed, you know.
With my farmer wife.
Yeah.
She's a farmer. She has biceps the size of a bushel of corn.
All right. Well, before we get too far into this, I think it's time to talk about the boy wonder and the boy blunder.
Walking through the field with us. My steed,
yes.
My wife, my son Elmer, my son John Nathan.
My son Elmer, who invented Elmer's glue.
He invented Elmer Fudge. No, Elmer Fudge. Sorry. I thought Elmer's Fudge was a fudge
Elmer
company.
Fudge. El Fudge.
Elmer from Sesame Street.
Elmer Fudge.
I would buy Elmer Fudge if they had it. I'm not saying you should. If there is a
thing. It's not even a thing.
Yes, if there was, you could buy it. It's your choice.
Maybe it is a thing. I don't know.
Elmer Fudge should be. Can you look it up real quick?
Yeah.
But
Elmer Fudge. I do not think it's a thing, no.
Oh, wow. We just stumbled upon a...
Although there is Keebler Elf Fudge cookies.
Oh, I don't like the Keebler Elves.
Oh, those are pretty good
like
cookies. I love those cookies, but anyways.
Honestly, though, I just figured out how to win my Icore competition. Elmer's Fudge.
Elmer's
yeah.
Fudge.
That's a good one.
Based on the Looney Tunes character, Elmer Fudge.
Yes. My favorite character. No, we actually do not. We're not sponsored by Looney Tunes. We're Elmer Fudge.
Is he the guy who's like talking about a wabbit or something?
Yeah.
Hunting wabbits. That wascally wabbit.
Well, speaking of wascally wabbits...
Before we get too far down
speaking of wascally wabbits, so one boy might have been a wascal this week.
Yeah, so
we have the
boy
Wascal
and the boy Jackal. I don't know.
But to just a little hint at what this episode's all about, we're actually calling it the boy walker
and the
boy
stalker, or the boy stalker.
The boy walker is the boy who walks his way through life with a...
That's a good thing.
With his head held high.
Mm-hmm.
He walks with his wife, his farmer wife. He walks with a rake. And he patrols the fields at night. And everybody knows what
Everyone thinks our theme is farming. Maybe it should have been.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe next week.
The boy walker has been walking through life like an amazing
with ease.
Yeah, with ease.
So
and helping out other people along the path.
Yes.
Who is the boy walker?
The boy walker this week, since we are doing a walking themed episode.
Oh, so it's not farming.
No, well, we might be talking about farming along the way, along the walk. Let's just say we might stop by some cornfields.
This crazy.
We might take a detour from time to time. Yeah.
Yes, but because our theme is walking, our boy walker this week is Sergey.
Sergey.
Thank you. What have I done?
All right. So yeah. Why?
Oh, well, this is because since we're talking about walking this week, Sergey took the extra initiative and is actually playing a video game where all you do is walk. He's practicing different walking techniques. It's called Walking Simulator. And he knows to put your head forward, to arch your back, to just walk with all your momentum straight to your head. Exactly. And he was just really, I could tell that he was really dedicated to today's episode and that he wanted to prove himself as a walker.
He was doing his research.
Thank you.
Yeah, he really was researched. And I don't think a lot of people realize that Sergey puts in a lot of research for each episode.
Oh, yeah.
But downloading that game just to learn how to walk, I think he went above and beyond this week. That's why I think that's the boy walker.
Yeah, he's a cold one boy, but he doesn't come in cold.
No, and he doesn't come in last either. Let me just say that.
Oh, never.
Whoever comes in last is our boy Balker.
Oh, no.
Somebody boss is somebody who, is scared of who retreats from responsibility for new things.
Okay, Wikipedia.
All right, come on. Anyways, so the boy Balker this week, who did not fulfill his responsibilities, who shirked from his duties, is Billy
McDunn.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
What did I do to deserve this?
Well,
it's not an honor. This is
unfortunately, Billy gave us a little bit of a sticky situation in our house. Maybe even a stinky situation.
Okay, before you assume the worst, can we just explain what happened?
All right. Well, let me just say it was both sticky and stinky.
Yes.
But it might not be what you're thinking. So, Billy.
I was sticky and sticky, but not what
you thinky.
Just hurry up and say it.
All right, Billy.
Oh man, he really made a real mess.
Trash.
Yeah, he forgot to take out the trash. So our house
has been smelling like a dump.
Yeah,
it does. Yeah.
Our house has been smelling like the sort of mule stables you deal with when you're a farmer.
We've got roaches everywhere.
Roaches, rats.
We got skunks.
We have like a goblin living inside our house, eating the rats and skunks.
Yeah, I will say, although I did
We've got maggots.
retreat from my responsibility to take out the trash and bulk.
If I recall, you went outside, saw the trash, threw a blanket over your head, said, "No, I can't," and passed out.
No, I actually just forgot. But I did today take the garbage to another location where I just...
Another location?
Well, I just don't want...
And we might not want to say.
I mean, it's just a place where you can put trash. I didn't litter.
He put it in another trash can.
No, it's exactly what you think it is.
He legally placed it in.
I legally placed it
in another trash can.
I don't know about legal. I mean, it's like I put it in a dumpster.
It happened to end up there.
I didn't litter.
We don't know
is what
happened.
I'm trying to say. I put it in a dumpster where trash people come and take it.
I put it in some other location.
It's not our
wildlife preserve.
Yeah, I don't.
The cemetery.
Basically, no. I got rid of it in a good way.
The Jordan River.
The Jordan River.
Like it may be one of those like private dumpsters that you're not supposed to technically put garbage in.
No, but they have all the best food in the private dumpsters.
So I put it there. It's not like I don't want people thinking I went to like Hoosier National Forest and just started throwing this stuff out the window. No, the garbage is gone. And
finally,
and we will never see it again. Well, that specific garbage.
Shoot,
I mean,
it's kind of sad.
Better not see it again.
Yeah,
but yes, I did. It was around a little bit too long, and things did get a little.
It's okay. We know you'll make up for it next week by doing double chores, right?
No, I made up for it by disposing of the trash.
No, I'm just joking.
A little bit late.
He also was pretty late in taking out the trash to the trash can in the front.
Okay, really? Everyone's a critic all of a sudden.
Thank you for trying to make amends and taking it to a private location that you will not disclose.
Yes, thank you.
Well, I mean, I'll disclose it. I just
no, it's fine.
It doesn't really matter.
It doesn't really matter.
Hey, speaking of
chores, you really want to know? Message us on.
If you really want to know,
Twitter.
meet me behind the building.
Meet me at
500 hours.
Meet me at your local dumpster, and I'll tell you.
Speaking of chores, let me just say, listening to this song that we have coming up is going to be no chore. It's not going to be a chore. It's going to be a great song.
So listen to it.
We'll be back in a few minutes.
Don't go away.
And hiding you confused. Here for jealousy. Your mind just keeps on running. So keep your mouth shut. You ain't no better than me. You ain't better than other people. So calm down, way down. Calm down, way down. Calm down, way down. Calm down for your touch. I'm sick of listening to you. So keep your mouth shut. And you listen to me. You better think it better. So f you. You ain't no better than me. You ain't no better than other people. So calm down, way down. Calm down, way down. Calm down, way
And we're back. That was Delusion by Josh Holmes.
Josh, you're
That was a pretty good song.
Yeah.
I liked
more
it.
like illusion. I was getting sort of some sort of hallucinogenic reaction.
More
Thanks
like
for that one, Josh.
hallucin.
I know he's a listener.
Eight.
Yeah, I was hallucinating. They should call that one illusionate.
Well, anyways.
Well,
Before we get into walking, we have a little bit of a mini topic. Little boys check-in here.
Yeah.
What have you guys been thinking
Let's
about
just
lately?
beat around the bush a little bit before we get to this walking, or should
Yeah.
I say walk around the bush?
Yeah, let's walk
yeah.
around the
walk
bush
around it
here.
a few times.
Walk around the bush.
Walk goes the weasel.
What's been up? What's been good?
What's been bad?
What's been bad? What
What's
have you
been
guys
ugly?
been thinking about? What have you been into?
Other than no kidding.
What have you been not into?
Hey, my mom said I had a perfect face for radio. All right. No, but we just wanted to see what we've been thinking about. We just want to let the listeners know. So Sergey, you want to start off? What have you been thinking about lately,
Oh,
Or what have you been liking lately? Anything?
or not liking?
liking, thinking. Oh, there's so many
Walking.
things. Walking. I haven't done too much of that. Right now, though, I'm just thinking about a few exams that are coming up. But I'm also thinking about what I'm going to do once I have some free time after those exams.
Ooh, what are you
Yeah.
gonna do?
I don't know, but I kind of want to do something with you guys. Like,
Hey, yeah.
maybe like go for a hike or something.
I was just
eventually.
thinking that.
Yeah, my mind.
cool.
I actually like the weather has been kind of like gloomy for these past few days, so I've kind of been wanting to go outside and do stuff, but I can't really. So I've just
When are your
been-
exams over?
Thursday.
Thursday. Oh, that'd
Yeah.
be fun to go on a hike with you. I'd love to do that.
Yeah, and hopefully the weather cooperates and my health cooperates. But yeah.
Nice.
Alright, okay, pretty cool. I'm glad that you share your thoughts with us. Our thoughts are with you while you take this test. What I've been thinking about lately is, number one, I got a new video game. I've been really happy about it.
What is it?
It's called Monster Hunter.
Ooh.
And I've been thinking about it a lot. You know, when you get a new video game, you think about it.
Oh yeah.
I've also been
Do you
thinking
dream about it?
I have not been dreaming about it. But
Oh,
I was thinking
that's
about it
happened to you before, right?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking about it before I went to bed last night, though.
Oh,
What I was
shoot.
going to do. You know, like when you, like...
Yeah,
this is so
you're like
bad.
strategizing for.
But when I was in school, like as a kid, instead of like thinking about like, you know, what my teacher was talking about. I would just be thinking about, okay, when I get home, I'm gonna do this.
Oh yeah.
this beat this boss.
Well,
but
wait, I do want to just say real quick, we have Street Fighter 2 at home, and Sergey literally took a note card and drew like a life-size replica of the controller. And
in class.
In class, he had the note card in his hands under the table, and he was like clicking buttons, like practicing combos and stuff. It was crazy. I've never seen anything
like
it.
We need to make that more of a house thing as playing Street Fighter.
Oh, I agree.
Because I think it's really fun, personally.
Yeah,
no, it seems fun. I guess I have to.
I have not been thinking about Street
learn the
Fighter.
strategies.
Hey, I had.
But that's just what that reminded me of, like during class.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I haven't been thinking about Street Fighter. I have been a little stressed about scheduling because I have this big scheduling conflict. You know, 2 classes I need to take at the same time. But I'm optimistic that it'll get worked out. I've also been thinking about that I'm going home, spending Easter with my mom, which will be fun.
Oh, nice.
Awesome.
And hopefully the Easter Bunny's kind to me this year. I've also been thinking about, I've been deciding to start to refer to you guys as sort of different names. I've sort of been tired of the humdrum names.
Yeah.
So instead of the first part of your names, William, you get Will, Billy, Andrew, Andy. I started to use the second component, so what I was thinking of trying out names for you guys is Sergey. Sergey's full name is Andrew. I was thinking of calling you Drew.
Okay.
Billy. Your full name is William. I was thinking of calling you Liam.
Oh, nice.
That's a good
And
one.
then Jonathan, your full name is Jonathan. I was thinking of calling you Than.
Yeah.
But he doesn't like it.
I don't know.
thinking
I'm
about why
still
he
feeling it
doesn't
out. I'm still feeling it out.
But yeah, that's what I've been thinking about lately.
So what are you,
Nice.
A or?
Lay.
I would.
Or
Okay,
Lay.
my name's not short for Clayton. But
Yeah.
let's pretend my name is short for Clayton. I could be Ton.
Oh.
Or Aiton.
Aiden.
Aiton. That's pretty cool.
Aiden's. I don't like that name at all. I could just call me Y.
Just why?
No, we could call you Whiten.
Ooh, Whiton.
Whiten.
Call me
Whiton.
Chayton. Can you call me Chayton? Actually? No, Jonathan, what have you been thinking about?
I've been thinking about a lot of stuff. So I'm a little bit stressed this week because I do have a big exam that I'm not quite ready for, but I will be. But at the same time, there's a lot of really fun stuff going on. Like, for example, last night I got some cereal on a deep sale. That was really exciting.
Cute. Oh, yeah, I
it
saw
was
that.
it was 1/3 of the price that it usually is. So I was hyped.
Holy cow.
I went ahead and bought 6 boxes.
saw that.
What else has been happening? Oh, tomorrow's Brandon's birthday. One of our good friends. So we'll be celebrating his birthday.
Happy
that'll
birthday,
be
Brandon.
that'll be fun. Happy birthday to Brandon in advance. What else have I been liking? Oh, the breakfast burrito maker. Shout out to my sister if she's listening.
Yeah.
She gave it to us. Sergey and I both made breakfast burritos for dinner tonight.
Shout out to the
Those were really good.
Shout out to the countertop for withstanding the massive egg spill.
Oh man, yeah, that was so sad actually.
Yeah.
What else? Oh, I've been listening to a lot of new music. Because
What's a new song that you want that you think our listeners would be happy if they listen to?
I don't know if I have any specific songs, but if you want to check out my playlist on Spotify, Double
You could.
XL
You
Freshman
could.
2018.
If
But
you wanted to.
you don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. I'm just saying if you want
It's
to.
there.
I literally said if you want to. So
No,
we're
no,
good
no, no,
here.
you could.
No,
You could.
no,
Yeah.
all right, what does
Let's just rewind a little bit here. You could if you want to.
Hey, no, I'm being within FCC rules. Don't worry. But yeah, I've been listening to
We're
a
not
lot of
supposed
new.
to say. We're not supposed to talk about the FCC on air.
Okay, really? Come
FCC does
on.
not exist.
We're supposed to. And
What
it's
the
supposed to be a
heck?
seamless experience for the listeners. They
Yeah.
don't think that we're regular.
Great.
at
Now
all.
they think
Oh,
we're.
man.
Now they
They
know.
think we're puppets.
They thought this was so natural before. They thought it was just a bunch of buddies having a nice conversation.
Now
Now
they
they
know we're all
know.
actors who've been hired by the FCC.
Exactly. Oh, jeez. And we're off script right now too.
Oh no, they're gonna kill us.
All right, back on script. Back on script.
Billy, what have you been thinking about lately? Oh, Liam, what have you been thinking about?
I've been thinking. Well, we just finished watching Stranger Things.
Oh, that was
I'd
so
already
good.
seen it. Jonathan had not.
Thin.
Than had not. So that was a really fun experience getting to watch you and Jay, our roommate, watch
Speaking of
watch it for the first time.
Thanos. You've been thinking
Thanos.
about
I was about to
Avengers
say
a
this.
lot.
I have been thinking about Avengers a lot.
Thanos. Ooh, that's a good one.
Avengers Infinity War,
But
probably
he just goes by nose.
the greatest
Yeah, nose.
cinematic achievement of all time. I mean, it hasn't come out yet. Probably the greatest cinematic thing ever attempted. It's going to be pretty good. I'm pretty excited about
It
it.
won't even hold a candle to the new Star Wars movie, is all I'm saying.
Okay, really?
The last Star Wars
And
movie.
no, I just you know how I am with those Marvel movies and all. It's going to be a great movie. And you know what news just broke today actually that I got
What?
really excited about. So Captain Marvel, it's a movie that's coming out. The Marvel Captain Marvel, not the DC Captain Marvel.
No, like Shazam.
Yeah, not Shazam, not Billy Batson. I'm talking Carol Danvers. She is Captain Marvel in the Marvel universe. So they're making a movie about
Carol
her.
Danvers sounds like a woman my mom would be friends with.
Anyways, it takes place in the 90s. And like Samuel L. Jackson is going to play a young Nick Fury
Oh, that's kind
in
of
it.
cool.
And you know Phil Coulson, the Shield agent.
Is the young
Yeah.
Samuel L. Jackson?
He's going to be in it too, as like
Oh.
a young Shield, like the guy who's currently on Agents of Shield. They're bringing him back. Plus, Captain Marvel's all about like the Skrulls and the Kree. There's these aliens and stuff. So they're bringing back Ronan from Guardians of the Galaxy. He's going to be in that movie as
Oh,
well.
shoot.
So
Right on.
I think that's the stuff that I think is really cool. When the fact that they have this shared universe, they can bring people back from old movies. Also, like spoilers, a lot of those characters are kind of no longer with us in the fictional universe. So the fact that it's set in the 90s allows them to bring them back. But no, I'm just excited about, Thanos,
The Riders of
Avengers,
Ronan, Lord of the Rings.
all of them about that. Yeah.
Have you read the comic book for Armageddon or whatever it's called?
Infinity War?
Yeah.
I have not read the comic for Infinity
No,
War.
you should. What, are you not wanting to check it out?
Yeah, you don't
or-
want to spoil yourself, right?
No, I mean, I kind of know what happens in it. I've read
Okay.
summaries. But like this is a movie. It's not. I mean, yeah, it's like inspired by, but it's not like. I wouldn't say it's based.
yeah,
off
I would
of.
agree.
Oh,
They're
yeah,
gonna make
sure
it a
it'll be
completely different story.
Yeah,
So that's
sure.
exciting.
Man, it's just not a repeat of the same old thing.
Okay, really?
No, I'm kidding. I'm sure it's gonna be awesome. I'm
I think,
excited
yeah,
too.
I've got some like big assignments this week that I
Me and Jonathan are just negative.
have to focus on, but it's gonna be good once those are over.
Fan. Sorry. He's shaking his head because I called him Jonathan, not Fan.
Yeah. But that's another thing I've been thinking about with all this NCAA stuff. March
Ooh,
Madness
yeah.
is sports,
Oh,
which is a perfect time
Hold
to
up.
talk about sports on the 26s with Sergey,
Drew.
with Drew,
Sport gay.
with.
With Drew. Let's just go Drew.
All right, take it away.
Sporty Drew.
All right,
Drew,
well,
Sporty Drew.
all I'm saying is maybe it's on your mind, maybe it's not. But let's just say the bracket this year, it hasn't gone so well for a lot of people, including myself. But hey, if you want to watch the game on the 31st, which is what is that, like 5 days from now or something?
Yeah.
Wait, that's
yeah,
not the
something like
final
that.
game, is it?
The Final Four.
That's the final four. Yeah.
That's vanilla versus.
I think the actual championship is
versus
when our show usually is.
Kansas.
Oh, really?
So I'm afraid we might get preempted.
Ooh,
No,
we'll see.
Kansas State.
Check out, stay up to date
I
on
did
Twitter and
basketball one the
Facebook
other
about
day,
that.
though.
If you want
Which is
to.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
No, I'm serious. Pretty lost. That's got to be.
Oh, right. Yeah, same thing. Okay.
That's true. Yeah.
Same thing.
But
They're making me worry a little bit.
oh, I know. I'm kind of worried for my bracket because I have Villanova winning it all, and they've not disappointed so far.
Ooh.
Yeah, so
Shoot.
they're gonna be. It's Villanova versus Kansas.
Yeah.
And then also Loyola versus Michigan.
Yeah,
I also
I've-
have Michigan in my top four.
Oh,
so
wow.
I'm doing all right.
That's awesome.
yeah.
I have Loyola winning it all. No, I'm kidding.
I wish.
That'd be kind of lucky.
See, I thought I had UMCB, whatever the heck it's called, running it all.
UMBC.
Yeah, the stupid dogs, man. But they totally suck.
Hey.
No, I'm kidding. I actually do not make brackets because to me that's sort of a form of betting. I think it's kind of immoral, so I don't really do
Yeah, you should
that.
love that.
I'm just kind of above it, you know what I mean?
Hey,
No, I'm
and-
kidding.
And then in addition, all those ads you see for like food, different types of food, like for sports, like the Gatorade ads and stuff like
Yeah.
that.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, and usually it's like to promote like being really healthy. and
Like
stuff.
LeBron James
Or
claiming that he drinks
something-
Sprite every day.
Yeah.
He's never drank a Sprite.
But kind of going with that, some research that was recently conducted showed that about 76% of the food that was like being advertised on those like sports commercials were unhealthy, and then an additional
no.
52% of the
definitely.
drinks were mostly sodas or other like very sweetened beverages.
Yeah.
So hey,
Yeah, that's not. I don't find that too surprising.
It's not
It's like
too
when you see Russell
surprising.
Westbrook eat a quarter pounder and then do a slam dunk. It's like, oh, geez, that might be a little bit
Very
interesting.
doable. Very doable.
Very doable, yeah.
Yeah, for him.
I have to get a quarter pounder and then I just go up on the
Yeah,
court.
if you eat a quarter pounder every day, you'll
Every
be able to
day.
dunk soon.
Yeah, eventually you'll grow a few feet too.
I thought
you know?
corn dogs were the secret, but
They are, yeah.
Well, they
If
are.
you ask Thomas Bryant.
But yeah, well, thank you so much for the sports.
Yeah,
Drew.
Yeah, thank you.
Sporty Drew.
yeah. Thank you. You'll be seeing Sport Gay next week maybe.
Oh, will I be seeing Sporty Drew?
Sporty Drew. You
Yes.
might.
Ooh,
okay.
maybe this weekend I'll be seeing Sporty Drew.
Oh, maybe.
All right, well, thank you so much.
All right.
yeah. So,
So into the
are we going into the
the
topic?
down and dirty.
Are we?
Going into the mini topic?
Are we going into the mini topic, or are we going into the topic?
Tweet in live. Should we do the topic or the mini topic? No, I'm kidding.
I think we should probably do the top.
Let's do the topic.
I guess we can save the mini topic for the end if we run out of stuff. you know.
True.
We ran out of
I don't think
steam.
we're
Probably
gonna run
won't.
out of
Yeah,
stuff.
we're
probably
doing
just gonna
pretty well,
We'll
actually.
save that mini topic for next
Right
week.
on schedule.
So enough walking around. I don't know what. I mean, we're saying-
Meandering.
Yeah,
you know?
enough meandering around.
Walking around the bush.
What? Yeah. What? Today's topic is walking, specifically walking etiquette.
Specifically, like on campus.
on campus.
Or wherever.
This was
You
kind
know.
of, this has been something that was on our minds recently. Jonathan and I were walking to one of our classes last week, and we kind of had an awkward walking encounter. We
Oh,
saw,
man.
So our professor, one of our professors, who we don't have anymore, the class,
Just ended, yeah.
It's a 10-week
We're still waiting
class.
for the grade for our paper,
We're
by the way.
still waiting for the grade on our final paper, and we were walking past her, and we were like, "Oh, we'll say hi to her."
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was because we kind of were both walking together. We're like, "Oh, there she is. Let's say hi."
Yeah.
And as we're
And we
walking,
were both kind of trying to make eye contact.
Yeah,
a
we were
little
trying to
bit.
make eye contact with her.
That
We were
sounds
literally
weird when
walking
you're
right.
trying to make eye contact.
Not
and-
trying, but we were just kind of looking in her
We were
direction,
looking
yeah.
like
No,
basically.
well, I mean,
right
you
at her.
want them to make eye contact.
Oh, right, yeah,
They're just
yeah,
not
yeah.
doing it.
Yeah, and she basically made eye contact with us, and then
No, she didn't make eye
I think
contact.
she looked at us.
Not with me.
I think she looked right at me.
She's
Oh,
like,
man.
really?
And then she turned, like, as soon as she saw us, it seemed like she moved her head away and, like, started
Oh,
acting
man.
like she was so focused on walking in the direction she was walking. And basically, neither of us said hi to her because we were like, that was kind of awkward.
Yeah.
She basically kind of saw us.
She kind of curved us.
And then just, like, it almost seemed like she purposely, like, walked right past us. I don't know. Maybe I'm just that the cynic in me is saying that. But it did make us think about kind of walking etiquette. You know, I feel like we've all been in a situation, especially if you walk on campus,
Right.
where you're walking past and you walk into someone kind of that you know, kind of, but you don't.
Yeah,
know
you
them.
don't really know, or maybe you haven't seen them in like a year or two.
Yeah, and it's like, should I say hi to them?
Or
Should I-
like, you're not even like really like you were like you did like a group project like once.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
You're not really friends
Or
with.
maybe
Yeah, yeah,
someone
yeah.
from like someone you know from a long, maybe someone. I mean, in my case at least, someone from high school that you like went to your high school, but you didn't really know them very
like
well.
like an old bully, something like
Yeah,
that.
like the schoolyard bully, and
Yeah.
you know you're afraid they might ask for some more milk money.
Yeah,
Oh, man.
exactly.
I feel like there's a lot of scenarios where, and one thing that me and Jonathan were talking about when this happened.
And I feel like sorry for interrupting.
oh no, it's
I feel like it's just such a relief when you see the person that you don't know what they're gonna do, and then you end up having the positive interaction.
yeah.
Oh,
definitely.
Like,
yeah,
you're like,
yeah.
okay, what's gonna happen? And then they look up to you, they smile, you're like, oh, thank God,
Yeah.
I know what's gonna happen now. I'm gonna smile back. I might mouth, hey, or I might even
Yeah,
say,
yeah. I
hey,
mean,
how's it
you know,
going?
you give them the what's up nod, the little
What's up?
like,
Yeah,
hey,
yeah.
what's up? Yeah.
And then you're like, oh, that was a positive encounter.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm very happy about
Yeah,
that.
even if it's pretty low key, it's still positive.
Oh no, yeah, like those will like make you like a little bit happy.
Yeah.
I feel like help you out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah. But here's the thing: as humans, I've been learning about this in my psychology class. Everyone's risk averse,
Oh,
you
we
know.
got Sigmund Freud over here.
Hey, I'm just saying. I'm just giving you a little knowledge, you know. So, you know, everyone is risk averse. Like we really try to avoid negative situations. In some cases, more than we seek out positive situations.
Right,
I think that's true.
So people are actually kind of
That's very
wired
That's what I learned
to
in psych,
just
yeah.
kind of, you know, brush it off rather than taking the chance. You know, is this person going to give me the what's
'Cause
up
it's
nod
hard.
back?
It's scary to try and make that, especially if like the person's not looking at you and you say, hey, blah
Yeah.
blah blah, to make them look up.
Yeah,
Like that's quite a risk.
that is a little bit of a
And one
risk.
thing
Yeah.
me and Jonathan were talking
They could
about.
say, hey, shut up. Get my,
Yeah.
get my name out of your
Yeah,
mouth.
yeah. Or it literally has happened to me. I've said hey and given them what's up nod. They look at me for a second and they don't say anything.
That's what we were
I'm like,
talking about.
okay, really? Like,
Okay,
And when that happens to you, you just are so demotivated to ever do it again.
When
I know,
does this
yeah.
happen to you? Where are you?
you know,
in this
walking around
Walking on
like,
campus
Kelly?
usually.
yeah, Kelly, like, or just like in the streets.
Okay, I don't want to like diagnose this
Mm-hmm.
and do any like inner school warfare, but I think that might be more of a case.
Okay, I don't
No,
know
serious.
about that.
No, I don't think this happens to me.
I don't
while
think this is
I'm
a Kelly
outside
thing. Yeah,
walking.
it's not just with
But are
people
there
in
people you met
Kelly,
in
but
Kelly?
not necessarily.
I don't think so. But
I don't know.
Let's not make this a Kelly thing.
not
Come
make
on,
this a
man.
Kelly
No, I'm not trying to make it a Kelly thing. I'm just saying, what if it is? Is it? I'm asking you, is it?
I'm thinking it's not based on my
I think it's an
personal
every person
experiences.
thing, 'cause
But
I've experienced it with Kelly people. I've experienced it with other
yeah,
people.
I would agree with that.
Yeah, I've experienced it from people from the School of Public Health, from Jordan. Well, the
I don't
people
really-
at Jordan.
Mhm.
Just because I have classes in a lot of other places this semester other than Kelly, so I would have to say I can get that pretty frequently.
All right.
For me,
all
it's the
right. So
arboretum.
it's not a
That's what
Kelly
I
thing.
imagine when I imagine these walking situations. Like I'm walking
Oh
through
yeah, the
Arboretum.
Arboretum's a classic. That's
And I
about where we
smell-
were
I
when
never
it
walked
happened.
through the
Almost, yeah.
True.
The best is when you're like in a thin hallway, or like, and then you're like, okay, what's really gonna what's gonna happen here?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know, she could say like, not she or he could say hi to me. They could punch me in the face. You know, they could completely ignore me. Like,
Yeah.
you don't know what the next step is gonna be, and that's when
true,
you're
yeah.
forced to confront the person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. So I feel like recently, like in the past month or so, I kind of found myself tending to avoid these situations a little bit more than usual for some reason. I think I actually did specifically have a couple times where I kind of got curved, and it kind of
really?
made me
Yeah, it'll
and
do
it
that
kind
to
of
you.
it
I've
kind of
been
made me not want to do it. So you know, like you might like kind of look at your phone for a second, or you might like just like take the other path or something like that.
I've been actually
But
trying to do the opposite.
Exactly. That's about to say. In the past week,
Yeah.
especially since Billy and I have had this conversation, I've been specifically trying to make eye contact with like everyone that I see that I actually know, and I think I've had pretty positive results actually. You know, sometimes there will be people.
Definitely.
It's like, well, I haven't talked to this guy in like a year or whatever. Like, you know, are they going to remember me? But then I did it. I was like, oh, hey, what's up? And then I saw him again today, and then we said what's up again, and it was like a positive interaction.
I have one person who I had class with one time. Who every time I see them, when I walk, I've never talked to this person ever.
Yeah.
Every time I walk to class, I say hi and give this person a nod, and they say hi and give me a nod back.
Oh, that's nice.
I
Yeah.
think it's kind of a reassuring. Like every single day this happens.
Yeah.
So now I usually take the chance and just try and say hi to the person because it really does make you feel better when they know you.
Yeah,
They're
that's
like,
true.
Oh, hey, and you feel kind of cool. You're like, I know somebody.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah.
I mean, this might be kind of pathetic, but you're
Yeah.
just kind of like, ooh, who's got friends? Me.
Yeah. I think actually like the ratio is that it typically takes 5 positive interactions to weigh out 1 negative interaction.
Yeah.
That's like
seems
another
right.
psychology thing. So
And what'll happen for me is that I think we were also talking about this briefly before we left. Is that if you see somebody from far enough away, you don't want to make the eye contact too early.
right, yeah.
So what I did, that happened to me today, whereas the person that I kind of knew, and I was like, I saw them and I was like, okay, and then I was like pretending to like adjust my headphones, or like something like that, or like I don't know. And then like right at the crucial moment, I looked up and I was like, oh hey, and they're like, oh hey.
Oh,
You don't want
yeah.
to do it too early, then it's just like.
That's
oh,
true, yeah. But I
It's
feel
like
like
a
at the
good
same
friend.
time, maybe you should just start doing that. Like I was kind of feeling like that too. Like, you know what? Just say what's up to them, and then you can kind of be like, you know, smiling at each other as you're walking up, like, hey, what's up? You know, it's your old buddy. I guess it depends on who the person is. You know, if it's not someone you know that well.
With your good friend.
But if it's like, if I see you walking down the
Oh,
street,
yeah.
I'll probably wave like all the way.
you better
know.
wave all the way. If you see
Yeah, no, I'm just saying.
No, I say-
like I might wave like you know, like 600, 800 feet away, like when I first see you.
This
And then-
walking etiquette takes into effect when it's someone you know, but you don't know them very well, or maybe you barely know them. Because
Yeah.
if it's someone you know really well, then it's not going to be awkward.
No,
if
yeah,
it's someone you
exactly.
don't know, you're just going to walk past them.
Yeah, but
That's
I feel
true,
like
yeah.
I feel like barely know is the moment, and then once you've gotten that. But I'm adamant about this. Well, not adamant because I just thought about it. But I feel pretty confident that once you've gotten that first, hey, how's it going, from a person you barely know, you can you're gonna do it every time you see them ever again.
That's true, yeah.
You know what I
but
mean?
sometimes it'll fade though.
It does fade, which is kind of sad. It's
It
like,
is
oh, did you
kinda
forget
sad,
about
yeah.
me, or are you just trying to make me think that you forgot about me?
Exactly.
Because
Yeah.
I'm trying to do the same thing to you, because I don't want to be the
Oh,
weird guy.
man.
Still
Oh,
saying hi.
yeah.
Oh shoot.
But
Man.
yeah, no, what about touching somebody as you go by? Like, you see your friend, you're like, as you touch by, you like pat him on the shoulder, on the back.
Oh, that
I
can
kinda
get-
like that.
I do
I do
like
that,
that,
yeah.
but it can get awkward. And in fact, I was walking today,
Oh no.
back from class, and I actually saw Eric.
Oh,
Eric-
our other roommate.
Yeah,
Rick.
Rick.
And he went in for like the classic kind of like handshake, and then you like pull out a little bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But he did it too soon, and he grabbed like my 2 fingers.
Oh, no.
And he held on for like a good second, and it was kind of awkward. I
Oh,
was like,
jeez.
oh gosh.
Oh
So
man.
generally, I like maybe like a pat on the back or just like a wave, like. But generally,
true,
I
yeah.
like to avoid touching if I'm in motion,
Right.
just because I feel like something. could
Yeah,
go
it
wrong.
Yeah,
kind
I
of breaks your motion cycle. But I try, and sometimes if I walk past somebody, if I'm walking past you, I might pat you in the back as I'm going
Oh.
by.
Yeah, that's always
But I
nice.
was actually really happy because the other day I was like in the gym and I saw this guy who I kind of know. I think this sounds I think this guy's like a really cool guy though.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like shout out to him if he's listening. But we don't have class together anymore, so like, oh man, I kind of want to say hi to this guy, but I don't
Yeah,
know, like,
yeah.
you know, maybe he doesn't know
Oh,
me.
yeah.
And when I was sitting down, he went up to me and was like, oh hey, how's it going? We had a conversation. I
Oh,
was like,
cool.
Oh shoot! Nice.
how
Oh,
cool
that's
is that
awesome,
guy?
yeah.
Yeah, I was really happy.
He's a cool
after
dude.
that. He's a very cool guy. Confirmed. It's not just in my head anymore.
Oh, that's sweet.
Jonathan, you were saying that you started, when we decided this was going to be our topic, you
Yeah,
said
yeah.
that earlier today you actually saw a really
right,
awkward,
right.
Kinda
weird, funny walking situation. And we told you not to tell us because we wanted to save it for the show. So
Right,
could
yeah.
you tell us now?
Yeah, so I'll walk you through the scenario. So I'm at the corner of 10th and Fee, which is right by Hodge Hall.
You might not want to
And
reveal your location.
oh,
a lot of
okay.
crazy people.
Well, that's where I was a few hours ago. So if you wanted to see me, it's too late. But anyways,
After class?
no, it's before. It's before. Actually, I didn't have class at all today, so
Oh,
I was
yeah,
just walking for a group meeting.
Just walking for fun.
Yeah. So, I'm at the corner of 10th and Fee, waiting for the light to change. You know, it's like a pretty long light a lot of times if you catch it just wrong, which I did. So there's like a huge crowd of people waiting, and everyone, sometimes people will kind of go in front of the cars, like if there's like a big gap.
Yeah.
And people were like starting to do that a little bit. And then this one guy, he kind of goes a little bit too late.
Oh no.
And like
Our car's coming towards
I wasn't confident enough to go during this gap, so I was just staying, along with the majority of other people, by the way. So he just starts going, And then it seems like a second into it, he realizes that he's a little bit in the back of this pack and he's a little bit too late. So this guy literally just starts like sprinting, and he's like sprinting down the road. Everyone's kind of looking like, what in the world? Like, what is this guy doing? And he's like sprinting, and then he runs like directly into a guy who's on the other side of the street. It literally looks like he like tucks his shoulder and like boom, like just like hits him, and then he keeps running. He's like he keeps like sprinting down feet, and everyone like on my side of the road was kind of looking around at each other like, what in the world, like what just happened?
So
and like the guy that got bumped into it just seems like a little bit like shaken up, like what, like, and then he turns around and like sees the guy like still just like sprinting down. I'm like, what in the world?
He realized he was like, oh no, I just messed
He's like,
up.
oh no,
I knocked this guy over. I gotta just keep running.
yeah.
I really.
But I was like, oh man, I really feel for this guy, but it was pretty funny.
I feel more for the
Kind of made my day a little bit, but
I actually don't like the overconfident walkers, especially when I'm driving.
yeah. Oh, when
like,
you're driving,
really?
it's the
Are
worst.
you trying to get
That's
like,
another
me to
thing.
to murder you? I don't want to. You know?
Yeah. Or some people will talk about like, when you're walking, you're mad at all the cars.
Yeah.
But when you're in the car, it's
Every
like,
walker's
okay,
number
come
one
on.
enemy.
Like every walker, it's like, do not play with me.
And I have, like, an
They just
interior-
jump right on the road in front of you.
I have an interior and sometimes outerior monologue where I'll say something like, "Okay, really, buddy, you're walking around."
Oh, yeah, I'll
that's
definitely
fine,
do
that's
that.
fine. Yep, go right ahead. I don't need to go anywhere.
I'll do that sometimes
And
a
then,
little bit.
but after I say that, usually like the resentment passes. But I just
Yeah.
need to get that out of my system.
Yeah.
Do a little passive aggressive. Oh yeah, I wasn't going anywhere.
Or what always kind of annoys me is when it's like people don't even look, especially like
Oh my
say it's
God.
like nighttime, they're wearing dark clothes.
Yeah.
They like cross like right in front of me, and then they don't even like look to see that I'm stopping or anything. And like I see them and I stop,
Yeah.
but it's like at least like look, like have a little like
And that's like worst.
just be safe, you know?
That's the very worst on 10th Street, I think, near Speed.
Oh yeah.
Because there's so many people, there's so many cars, and there's a war going,
that's
like
true.
a Cold War going.
Oh, it's crazy. Yeah, you can get stopped there forever.
Okay, this actually happened to me today. Do you guys think this is a weird walking situation? I just thought of it. So I am actually a little bit of a. I'd rather be, confident and walk across the street at my leisure than try and rush and maybe almost risk a dangerous situation.
Yeah.
So usually I kind of wait on one side of the street, and I was waiting to cross the street, and I was kind of on my phone, and like groups of people kept coming, and then like finding a small gap and running across the street.
Yeah.
And I felt kind of like a weenie. 'Cause, like, multiple people cross while I was just standing there.
Yeah.
I want to wait for this light. You know what I mean? I want to
That's true.
like be sure of myself while I'm walking.
That's true.
I
Yeah.
understand that.
I feel
So
like
I
it's
felt kind of like. Do you think if you saw that, would you be like, oh, this guy's weird?
no.
I wouldn't think it's weird at all.
Do you think this guy's
I would
safe?
think, hey, this guy's taking his time. He's having a good time. Like, sometimes I'll end up doing that because I'm like running late for something.
Oh,
Yeah.
And I'm
I
like,
actually do that
look at this
all
guy
the
back
time.
here. He has nothing to worry about. I'm kind of jealous of this guy almost.
Yeah, because I was
Yeah.
kind of like jamming on my phone. I was like,
Yeah,
texting
yeah.
somebody, and I was like, I just feel like I just feel like kind of like weenified.
Oh no.
No, I don't
I would
think that at
definitely
all.
feel confident in that.
Okay,
Don't.
I jump in between the gaps all the time.
Oh gosh, you're one of those people.
It's not a matter of safety versus I'm trying to
Look not cool or whatever.
It's a matter of I need to get somewhere or I have plenty of time, so I'm just gonna wait.
Yeah,
That's kinda what
exactly.
the
You
tournament's for me.
guys usually leave to class later than me.
Maybe.
I, I would say whenever I leave late to class, I'm foiled. But you know what I'm talking about. I don't know if our listeners do. By those two lights by our house.
Oh yeah.
I
yeah.
completely agree.
Whenever I know where to go, I know where to be. Oh yeah, green lights. Go straight ahead. Whenever it's a rush, it's like I
It's
get
the-
there right when it turns around. I'm
It's
like,
the
oh,
worst.
this
Oh
sucks,
man. Yeah.
Just terrible luck with that. But no, I definitely don't hate rushers. In fact, I empathize with rushers until I'm behind a wheel. Then I'm like, okay, yeah, really,
Oh,
buddy.
yeah. Yeah. I could just run you over right now.
Yeah, no, I'm literally like, I could have killed you.
Yeah. Especially when they're just being kind of dumb. It's like literally
But
just
also,
look.
sometimes I notice I'll walk across the street when a car's kind of far away and the car speeds up.
Oh,
Are you trying to murder me?
I
Like,
know.
Why else would you be doing this?
Yeah.
Like, what is you're either trying to scare me or kill me.
Yeah.
There's no other solution.
No, that's
to this
crazy.
at all.
I also
I think
feel
they're
like
trying to
it's
scare
a
you.
little more intense here too on a campus.
Oh yeah, I think they're mad and they're trying to scare me, but I'm like, are you trying
yeah.
to murder me? You know what I mean?
Oh,
Like jaywalking is so prevalent here for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, hey, I'm guilty
I contribute
of
to it.
No, I'm a jaywalker until I'm driving. Then I hate jaywalkers. It's like
it. I sympathize with the walkers at all times, to be honest.
I mean, I'm not like out there screaming at them. I have one
Yeah.
time thought I will never do this, but about like right when the kid's walking in front of my car, just honking at him. And seeing like how freaked out he'd get.
Oh man.
And that's really
Yeah.
mean. I would never do it.
Yeah,
but I
yeah,
fantasize about it. I'm like, I can just honk at you, kid.
also-
Ruin your day.
It also depends on if I'm running late in my car and then people just keep like walking right in front
Oh,
of
if
me.
I'm
I'm
running
like,
late,
okay,
I'll
really?
just
Like,
mow down those
I'm just
kids.
trying to. I'm just trying to get to this thing on time.
Maybe has it ever crossed your mind though? I'm like, what if I just honked at this guy? Like he'd be so startled. He'd probably.
Oh
say,
yeah,
like,
I've never really thought about that, but maybe.
He wouldn't be Mr. Cool
Maybe,
Guy
man.
anymore.
Yeah.
Anyways, though, so we actually have some more material
But first,
about walking material. But first,
the news.
Sergey.
Oh, well, speaking of
Let's
news,
take a walk through the news.
Let's take a walk on the
Yeah.
wild
Oh.
side.
Well, it's going to be a pretty short walk, but speaking of news, it's about news. So, you know how Amazon's just been, like, getting into the food business and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And they're trying to expand into all these other places. In fact, one of the company that I'm working for this summer, they're expanding into that company's market, too. And so that's been a prevalent issue.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, but now they're thinking about maybe expanding to TV news. So,
Whoa.
yeah, that's a big step for them. And
Oh, man.
recently
They're just
they've
doing
been-
everything.
Yeah, recently they've been sending out surveys to like their customers, and just seeing like, hey, like what kind of news outlets do you use, and what do you like to see, and all that kind of stuff. So they had the company Qualtrics come in, like just to do a bunch of surveys for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? Maybe Amazon News could
Wow.
be a thing next year, or
That's
even
crazy. I wonder if Amazon's getting too big almost.
Oh,
Like, I wonder if they're
they're
going to lose
really
focus. You know?
Yeah.
Like, you look at a company like GE right now, and you're like, they just do everything.
Yeah.
And they're, like, totally, like, falling apart, and it's because they lost their focus in some ways. You know,
Exactly.
maybe they're going to rebound or whatever, but that's been, I don't know, that's
Right.
just kind of interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting just to see the way that Amazon, like, it has failed in some places, but usually after its failure, it'll pick that same project up a few years later and like make it even better and like just fix it. So
Yeah, maybe Amazon can be the great conglomerate. Who knows?
Maybe
I
they
read that
could
when
be.
Amazon started, their vision and their only thing they did was selling books online.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, thank you for the news, Sergey. It's
Yeah.
really interesting.
Yeah, thank you.
So our next walking etiquette area of discussion. So we have all come up with, I believe, a hypothetical awkward walking situation. Is that correct?
Right.
And we're going to present it and see what we would do. Like, what would you do in this situation? Would you just keep walking past? Would you go turn around and try and take a different path? Would you walk the other way? What would you do? I mean, there's endless possibilities here.
Right.
You could, I don't know, sit down and cry. You can do anything. What would you do? So, someone want to start with their hypothetical situation? Sergey?
Yeah.
You want to go?
Sure, of course. So mine's pretty, I would say, basic and something that could happen like at any time, generally. But it's just like imagine that you're just going somewhere. It could be class, it could be a restaurant or something, and there are two doors, right?
Right.
To the entrance. And generally the left is for the people exiting and the right is for the people entering. But you know, sometimes people take the opposite door right as you're walking.
Oh, yeah.
So what do? Do you wait for them to just like pass through, or do you open the other side of the door, which occasionally does bump them like, when they're leaving, and go through the opposite side? And maybe there are other people coming through that way too. So I don't know. I actually get this. This happens quite frequently at Kelly, I would have to say, when I go through the main double doors.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Generally, people will be leaving out like the left, the right side, and I'll just either wait or just like take the left side of the door and start walking that way instead.
Oh.
And sometimes I do brush up against people, or the door kind of does bump someone else who's walking out. But hey, they're walking on the wrong side. So
Shoot.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't encounter this that often. I definitely do sometimes. And my thing I would open the other door and just brush against them, and then just say something like minorly like apologetic, like, "Oh, excuse me, man," or like,
Okay.
"Oh, sorry," and then just be like, "Okay," because that's just better for me.
Okay.
And I wouldn't think. I feel like also when I made the decision, I wouldn't be like, "Oh, I might bump this guy." I would just be like, "Oh, I don't want to wait."
Right.
I'd agree. I'd do the same thing, especially if I'm like
Yeah.
need to get inside. Although this actually doesn't happen. I know you said this happens to you a lot at the Kelly
Yeah.
doors. This actually hasn't really ever happened to me. Or maybe once or twice.
Sergey takes the
Yeah.
express route.
But yeah, I guess so.
Yeah,
But
I think you just
I
have
would
to
agree.
go through,
I would
yeah.
not wait. I mean,
Yeah.
not that I'm impatient or anything.
Again, it
Maybe
kind
I
of
am.
depends on how much of a rush you're in.
That's true. Yeah. If you're not in a rush, you could just like hold the door open.
It also depends
for,
on how buff the guy who you might be bumping.
Oh, yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
That
As a
is
buff
true.
guy, you might want to bump into him, you know?
Yeah. So if it's some acacia weenie, I'm happy to stroll right through.
Okay, well, sometimes on a bad day, you know, if you're just going through the wrong side of the door, you just push that door back.
Oh,
Nope.
man.
No entrance. buddy. No, but okay. Well, yeah. I think
Yeah.
so we would all take the route of opening the other door.
Yeah.
My another one is a little bit more specific. So let's say, picture your favorite. It could be. Okay. Are you guys having the answer really close with?
Yeah.
I'm not talking about
Relatively.
Okay, think about where does real quick? Where does your favorite ant live, Jonathan? Fan.
Oh, man. I don't want my
Well, they
aunts
might
to
be
be
listening,
listening.
so
Yeah,
let's
yeah.
A state.
Well, I mean, they live in different
Let's just not
states.
say
Okay,
that.
Liam. Oh, okay, right.
Oh, I'll say
Okay.
Illinois. All my aunts live in Illinois.
Okay, so they live in Indiana.
Right, yeah.
Okay, so let's say you're walking. You know that sort of way from Woodburn to Ballantyne.
Yeah.
You're walking down one side of the street that way, and you see your favorite aunt on the other side of the street, who does not live in Indiana, who has no relation to IU.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, walking from like the other direction, so from like Ballantyne to the direction of Kelly. Like she's walking really fast though.
Yeah.
Nice.
What do you do? Do you keep walking and just be like, oh, that's weird, or do you try and catch up with her and be like, hey, what are you doing here?
So our paths are not going to cross.
No, not at all. And she's like looking at her phone or something. You're on the opposite side of the street, so you have to cross the street and turn around and come back.
Mm-hmm.
But this is like an awesome aunt. And if you don't have any awesome aunts, think about like make up a really cool. I'm sure you do.
I would say, if I'm being completely honest with myself, if I'm walking home, I would probably try to chase her down. If I'm walking to class or something like a group meeting or something where I kind of need to get there soon, I'm probably just gonna be like, I wonder why she's here and where she's going.
Oh, hard.
I would probably. I have to go. I'll literally all my walking decisions on campus. It boils down to, am I trying to like get there quickly?
Yeah.
Or can I take my time?
That's true.
Well, hold up. Maybe you could arrive to the class a little bit late. Like, you know,
If I
5
could be,
minutes.
I probably would not be late.
If you wouldn't be late, then what the difference does it make?
Right.
If I'm not going to be late, but
No,
then
I mean, like you said, you probably won't be late. So if you probably won't be late, what difference does it make?
oh yeah, I was saying I probably wouldn't be late.
You wouldn't choose to be late.
I wouldn't choose to be
Yeah.
late. Is what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
If I could catch her and not be late,
Yeah.
then I'd do that. I don't know. What do you guys think?
Well, my first thought was, 100%, I'm definitely going to go see my aunt.
Yeah.
Which probably still is true because my aunts don't live in Indiana. They've never been on this campus before.
Right.
You know, I'd probably miss them. I definitely want to go say hi.
Oh, that's sweet.
I guess the one reason I wouldn't be was if I was like running late to something like very important, and then maybe as I'm passing them, I would send them a text and be like, hey, like I have to do this thing for a half hour. Like I'll be back. Like let's do something.
Like
You
an
know what I
interview.
mean? Yeah, like if I was going to an interview, I might like text them real quick and be like, hey, like I'll see you in an hour or something like that. But yeah, I would definitely go out of my way to
Right.
see my aunts. They've never been here before, so yeah, 100%.
Ants are really cool, man.
Yeah, they are cool.
Sergey, what do you think?
Yeah, well, my aunt also does not live in Indiana, and I would definitely go out of my way, even if I had to be a little bit late to my class.
Yeah,
I would
too.
definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like I
What
wouldn't.
about
even
an
think
interview?
If it was an interview, I'd probably just like maybe like if I had the time to flag her down and just say like, oh, how long are you staying? Maybe we could like meet
Yeah.
afterward or something.
Yeah.
But if I don't have the time, I'll probably just throw her a text.
I
Just
feel
send a
like
text her and say,
I'd be so shocked from seeing my aunt that I wouldn't like think about if I'll be late for something.
Really?
I would just make a beeline and be like, oh hey, what's
Shoot.
up?
Oh wow. I don't know. Maybe I'm class oriented, but I would not want to be late for class. I'm obviously gonna try to
Who's the
meet.
class-
Come on.
I'm obviously gonna try to meet up with her. But
Yeah.
if I got my class
Interesting.
first,
Come on, it's your aunt, man.
Well, okay. Well, what if it's just a regular, ordinary class? You don't have
She
like an
supported your
exam in
mom,
there.
you know.
You're just going to be like 5 minutes late to a class. It's not going to hurt your attendance policy or anything.
I mean, if there's basically no repercussions, then yeah, I'm gonna do it.
No,
But
this isn't.
I don't.
This isn't
I
a
feel
world
like I
with no
don't.
repercussions. This is a real world.
Well, then I guess my original statement stands.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shoot.
cold-hearted.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cold-hearted.
Sorry, man.
Oh, jeez. Hope none of Billy's aunts are listening.
All right.
Hey, let's meet up after class. Is all I'm trying to say.
Hey, Friday's at your class. No kidding. Jonathan, what is your
Right.
situation?
So I took mine in a slightly goofier route, I guess. So you're walking down a path and it splits in two. On the one side, there's a huge puddle that you would need to jump over,
Oh, that's
and you
nice.
can't go around it. And let's just say, you're looking at it, you think there's maybe about like a 50-50 chance of you landing in
Oh,
it
I've been there many times.
and splashing
I've been in
yourself.
that situation a lot.
Now that sounds pretty bad, right? Now on the other path, you're walking down. There's like a very narrow. It's almost like you're walking between two cliffs or something like that, two mountains. And there's a very narrow path, and you see down this path someone that you don't really like that much. Someone maybe that you had like a class with, someone who went to your high school. You didn't really like them that much. You didn't really get along. You haven't seen each other in a year, but you definitely know each other. And when you're walking down, you're gonna like literally have to be like rubbing up against them, like squeezing past them through this thing to get past them. But if you take the puddle route, they won't even see you, and you can just totally, ignore that interaction. Maybe you'll get a little bit wet, but what do you guys think?
I would just go through the narrow path with the person that I don't like.
Yeah,
I don't want to.
you literally have to be like squeezing as hard as you can past them.
Yeah, man, that's fine. I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, it's just a person. You know what I mean? And I feel
Yeah.
like I've had to walk through so many puddles walking around campus.
Mhm.
It's so annoying and terrible. And just because then you have to walk around the puddle and make your journey so much longer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you have to find dry ground and so it's just a huge veto for the puddle. I'll just
Yeah,
rub up
yeah.
against somebody I don't like.
Okay,
What's the worst that could happen? Are they gonna?
that's true. Yeah.
You know?
I definitely agree with you with that because you know, having like wet socks, wet shoes,
wet socks.
that feels
Oh,
awful.
man.
And then you're just walking around, and like the worst part is if you're going somewhere and you're not going.
Oh,
home,
true,
Then
yeah.
you're just sloshing around in there with
Oh,
your
that's
squeaky old
awful,
shoes,
yeah.
and you got like this puddle when you sit down in class. No, I would definitely go between that very narrow path. And you know what? Hey, if you're squeezing past him, you know what?
Maybe it's a chance to like to like reconnect and be friends.
Squeeze into their heart, you
interesting.
know?
I was thinking something else, like give him a jab or two.
Okay, really?
Very good. Jeez.
I guess I'm just the odd man out, devil's advocate here today, maybe.
That's an
But
important team
I
role.
will say, I first thought, oh, I'm gonna just walk past the guy, and then I kind of stopped. And I'm like, wait,
Or girl.
if this is or girl. I was gonna say, if this was real life,
It's
I
very
know
tight.
This might be the social anxiety in me talking. I'm taking my chance with the puddle, and I'm 100% sure that's what I would do.
Yeah.
I see they're both good situations, but I know if I was given that choice, I probably would take the chance with the puddle.
What if you didn't know that the puddle was actually like a foot deep?
I mean, hey, I'd
just, like,
find
step into
that, I'd find that out after I jumped in, I guess.
I guess, yeah.
I feel like
There's a 50% chance I won't get in it, so I'm either going to be completely wet or maybe I'll be dry.
I feel like
True, yeah.
But who's bad enough that I have to like endure wet socks though?
Exactly, that's what I'm thinking.
Like, is this like Hitler I'm walking up against?
Yeah. What if, let's say it takes like a minute to get past them because it's just that hard to squeeze through.
I'll jump in a puddle to avoid an awkward situation, but that's just because that's my
Interesting.
kind of person. That might be that's a personality
I
flaw.
feel like I wouldn't feel that awkward because I'd just be like,
But
hey,
I
man,
know
like,
that's what I would do.
I'd be like, hey man, like I'm not the one being weird. It's weird that we have
Yeah.
this narrow canyon on campus.
What if he got mad at you though and he's like, why didn't you jump over the puddle, bro?
I would say, why didn't you jump over the puddle, moron?
No, I feel like theirs is definitely the smart option. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, we're smart guys.
I'm just saying this is what I would do.
All right.
So I also went for a more silly situation for mine. Mine's the
I thought
last
the
one.
Ant was kind of silly, but I guess not.
No, the Ant one's pretty silly too.
Jeez, I'm just not silly enough.
Okay, so
I'm more
mine
too
is-
grounded in reality.
I'm picturing the Arboretum outside, but you can picture any area where there's basically one road to go on your way to class. And so you're walking, and up ahead, you see. Oh shoot! Wait, what? Oh right. So you're walking. Sorry, there's a little bit of a setup to this. You're walking past a booth, and there's a person there, like handing out flyers and stuff. And they're like, "Oh, hey, like, take a free T-shirt and sign up for our thing or whatever."
Yeah.
And it's something you are completely disinterested in. Like you don't care.
Ooh. Oh, that's a classic situation.
And you're like,
very classic.
you're like, okay, and
Wait,
they're like,
free T-shirt though.
and you're like, you kind of have to get to class. It's not like super urgent, but you do kind of want to go. So you're just like, I'm sorry, I have to go to class. And they're like, well, here, take the free T-shirt, and when on your way back from class, fill out our thing. And you're like, okay, fine. You take the shirt and you keep walking. Now you're walking down the path, and you see in front of you there's a guy with a video camera filming everyone that walks past, and there's a giant banner behind it that says "Flat Earth Believers," and he's like
no.
streaming it live to the internet. And this is like a popular
Oh, no.
YouTube guy, and
That's
you're gonna be
hilarious.
seen at this thing. And so now you're like, okay, I'll just turn around.
Yeah.
But now you have to walk past those people whose shirt you just took.
Wait, so
And you told them you were in a hurry.
Wait, so do you have to like? Can I just sign it the first time when there's no video camera, or is the situation that I didn't sign it the first time?
You did not say it the first
Okay.
time, so you could go back
Yeah.
and be like, oh, I actually do have time.
So
now, I
is
guess.
this
That's an
video?
option.
Is this video camera like making it seem like you believe in the flat Earth thing, or
Yeah, basically. He's basically like.
wait, is
I'm
this
here-
tied to the T-shirt thing at all, or no?
No, this is a completely different guy.
Oh.
He's just like, I'm here at IU, the flat Earth theory. All these people walking by, we're marching here to show our support. The flat Earth or whatever.
See,
But you would only walk by really quickly, so
Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't care about that. Yeah.
you could probably get by. It's just if anyone's watching, they'll be like, oh, that's another flat
I'd
Earth believer.
probably just sign it. I don't know.
do the fill out their form.
Yeah, I could put a fake name.
You do have to walk back, and after you said you were too busy, but
No, I mean like they said, oh, go back and sign it. They said come back and sign it when you're done.
yeah.
I would go back and just sign it.
So immediately after saying I have to go, because what it is you're trapped between them.
You don't have time to sign in immediately, is what we're saying.
Oh no, I don't care about the flat Earth thing. Yeah, I'll be in that.
Oh, so you'll just walk past the flat Earth.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I feel like that makes sense.
I think that's what I would do too. Yeah.
I mean, and a
Yeah,
flat
I
Earth
would just
T-shirt probably
walk
looks
back.
cool, and it could be
No,
funny.
no, the T-shirt isn't related to the flat
Oh,
Earth.
okay.
thing. This is a little bit. Yeah.
These are I made mine very complicated.
I feel like it could be funny to
There's
be in the
two
flat Earth
different-
T-shirt.
It would be pretty funny. Yeah.
There's
So
two
I
Like,
would-
hey
yeah.
guys, go watch me on YouTube.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
I would. I mean, I am a flat Earth believer, so I probably would just go with the live stream thing.
Yeah.
Sergey?
Yeah, I'd probably just walk past. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what I would do
I would just
too.
walk. I actually do that most times. Like if I see
If someone's
somebody,
filming.
If someone were filming,
Well,
if someone's
someone's
asking
filming, I always
something
jump in the
out, or they're
camera,
trying to get my attention,
follow me,
and I'm on my way somewhere,
SoundCloud.
and I don't know them, and they're doing it for a specific like event or purpose, I'll usually just ignore them. But occasionally, if they actually confront me, like in this case, I'll usually just say, "Oh, you know what? It's really cool what you're doing, but you know what? You can do this with someone else."
Somebody tried to sign me up to get my blood plasma,
Oh
and they're
man.
like, "Oh yeah, it's super awesome, blah blah all this stuff." I'm like, "Well, I have like a condition. Can I still do it?" And he's like, "Oh god." And he literally rolled his, I think it was like some kind of scam thing because he rolled his eyes and like left. I'm like, this guy's such a jerk. I'm trying to help out. And then one
Yeah,
thing comes
come
up
on,
and he
man.
literally, no, but I usually talk.
Messed up.
It would probably
Yeah,
was a scam.
shoot.
There's that one church. I don't know what it is, but they give out free chocolate. I love that church.
Oh, wow. I've never seen that.
I'm always wanting a snack in class. They're by they're not like the scary homophobic church. They're by the tower by Woodburn. I'm like, I always want some chocolate.
Oh,
So
I need to
always
get
am
some
like,
of
oh,
that.
Thank you so much.
Oh, cool.
God bless you. Yes, and I take the chocolate and I eat it later.
Oh, cool.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, from time to time I'll like buy stuff from people, but I don't do that often.
Oh.
I bought these like Jewish cookies once. They were pretty good.
Mazel tov.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We got some shirts one time, right, Billy?
Yeah,
Remember we were just walking
Rapunzel
past?
shirts.
Yeah.
Those are some of my
Rapunzel,
favorites.
Rapunzel, let down your hair.
Yeah. So that was our walking segment. I think now should we just go to some listener questions?
Yeah, we should just
Show's
run through them.
almost
Yeah,
over.
we had another
Sadly.
possible segment, but let's save that for next week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. we should.
So we have
We can
3
repurpose
listener
it for something
questions.
Yes.
The first one comes from Braden. He says, "How many road asks?" Was that what you say?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, dude.
I
Might
feel
be-
that was me feeling bad that I interrupted you for such a dumb reason.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, I'm just sad I misspoke on air. That's pretty embarrassing.
Yeah, it's actually misspoke, but
Oof.
okay.
Okay, so he asks, "How many roads must a man walk down to find the best burgers in this here town? Help me on this noble quest, and I will treat you to the rest." In
Ooh.
parentheses of my burgers.
Oh, I really like this question. This is kind
It's
of
pretty
a good
cool.
poem. Yeah.
So how many roads do you need to walk down to find the best burgers in this here town?
Like in Bloomington,
Yeah,
best burgers in Bloomington. I don't want to give an official endorsement, but
maybe like 8 roads. No, maybe like 3 or 4.
Well, if you get to College Mall, you'll have all the burgers you want. Whatever tickles your fancy, there, partner.
True.
That's probably
So-
right.
It'd probably be like 3 roads.
From where?
here?
From our
Oh,
house?
from here. It'd probably be like 5 roads. 4 or
Wait,
5.
Maybe a
From
little
the
bit less
WX studio.
4 roads.
From the WX studio, right?
Yeah.
It depends on how much you want to walk, but I'm just saying 1. Okay, sorry. 1. I'm doing some mental math here. 1,
Yeah.
2,
Yeah.
3, 4. We'll get you to McDonald's and all those other places. Let's say
Okay.
4. 4 roads.
4
Yeah, I'd
roads.
say
All
four
right,
sounds
so
right.
4 roads. And he'll treat you to the rest of his burgers. So 4 roads.
Oh.
Burgers,
How many burgers is he getting, though?
please. What?
How many burgers is he getting?
I don't know.
What is the best burgers in town for you guys?
I like the Buffalo's burgers a lot. Those are pretty good.
Really?
Yeah. Scotty's has pretty good burgers.
I went to. Do you guys ever go to Bub's?
Yeah.
Bub's.
I went
Bub's
there
is pretty good.
Today it was really good.
I like
you
that
could
a
go
lot.
there if you want.
I had the huge burger from Bub's once, like the 1 pound. Have
Yeah,
you
but
had
I think
that?
after you
We've
eat that,
talked about
you don't
that,
really
right?
want to eat it that much anymore.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
but-
so I usually don't get that, and I'm just like, oh, that way I keep liking it. All right, what's the question?
We have a question from EU. Thank you for
Yeah,
he was
thank you
a
for
guest
listening.
in the
You.
past.
Yes, of course, past guest.
He says, "Who's your main in Street Fighter?"
Oh, so do you guys have mains, Sergey and Billy?
I do. I haven't played as much as some of you guys, but I really like E Honda.
Oh, Honda's pretty fun. He's like a charge
Ooh.
character.
Yeah, he's pretty cool. I like that move with his hand where he sticks his hand out.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
What about you guys?
Sergey, do you have a main?
I think I like Chun-Li.
Chun-Li.
Oh,
yeah.
classic.
I'm
She
actually.
does those kicks.
Yeah, I'm
She
actually.
does have the
I'm actually a
kicks.
Chun Li main,
Yeah.
and me and Jonathan have played many games.
Oh, we've had many tight duels. Oh wait, you want to play after this actually?
Oh,
Maybe
my
like a
God,
couple?
that'd be the move.
Maybe like 2 or 3?
Yeah, between our mains though. My main is Chun Li.
My
Yeah.
main is Ryu, or I think that's how you
Ryu,
pronounce
yeah.
it, right?
So, like,
Ryu.
the 2 like flagship characters of the franchise.
Yeah, they really are.
Which is kind of fun,
Yeah,
I think.
it is pretty cool. Yeah,
But
Ryu
yeah,
has that cool fireball.
Yeah, and
I like
Chun-Li
him
has-
because his moves are pretty easy to pull off, actually. But
Chun-Li has a
oh, that's killer. Really like. Okay, so next
We play Street
question.
Fighter 2 non-turbo. If you
Non-turbo.
That's
for
right.
Yeah.
SNES. Yeah.
If you want to get ready to challenge us
You better
when you
bring-
come over to our house.
You better bring an army.
Oh man. Last question comes from Hunter Miller, and he asks, my goodness. I guess he says the question too, but anyways, what are the best shoes? Hey, come on,
Yeah,
give me
okay,
a
I'll catch
break.
you this
He says, oh goodness. He asks, what are the best shoes to wear when I'm walking so that I look the coolest?
Ooh, this is probably
Maybe
like
some ice shoes.
What kind of shoes does Ryu wear?
Moon boots.
Moon boots are cool. Moon shoes.
I personally
Moon shoes.
prefer the rollerblades or roller skates.
Oh, what are those things? Heelys.
Heelys.
Heelys look kind of cool. I would say like huge. You know, there's like huge Osiris shoes.
Oh yeah,
Those ones
like
with,
the
giant
big
tongue.
skater shoes.
Yeah, like a huge, like a shoe that just is too
man.
big for your feet.
Yeah.
And it has like a huge tongue that just is Osiris in like green and pink. Like,
Oh man,
yeah,
with
something
like the O on it.
Yeah,
Also-
oh, and the green and pink shoelaces too, definitely. That are like not tied up at all.
Oh, that's true.
So you look kind of like Sonic the Hedgehog, yeah.
Yeah, or if you really want the fresh look, just have a pair of untied Tims.
Oh, untied Tims. Those are pretty
An
cool,
IU
actually.
favorite, a frat boy favorite.
Very much so.
Jonathan, what are your go-to cool shoes?
I mean, I was thinking some iced out shoes. You know, you got to get the diamonds on it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'll definitely be looking cool with those.
Probably some like diamond loafers.
Oof, that's what I'll be rocking in my internship this summer. Just you wait and see.
Yeah, you're huge.
Just
in the
strolling
office.
into what was it called? What International?
Buchanan
International.
Yeah, you're gonna be putting out some eyes if you walk in with those bad
Oh
boys.
man.
All right, well, thank you so much for listening.
Yeah,
that is
yeah.
we went by it pretty quickly. We actually had more content to talk about, but we might repurpose it, repackage it
For
and
later.
shove
For
it down
next
your
week,
throat
we have some
other
gonna be
great
exciting.
stuff coming up. Yeah.
Oh, really exciting stuff is in the
Yeah.
works. You should. It's the best time.
It's
to be,
thrilling.
It's the best time to be a Bose Corn Hour fan.
Thanks
It's one time to be
for
alive.
going on this walk with us.
Wadpa. Yeah. Thank you for going on this walk with us. Exactly.
And now we have to walk out the door and out of your life
For good.
for the night.
For the
week.
night.
For the week. For the week. We'll be back next
We
week
will be back next
with a
week
great
Thank
new
you for tuning
episode.
in.
with non-stop content.
Yes.
1 hour, back to back.
Back
baby.
to back. And by back to back, we mean each minute. In the
Right.
60
Yeah,
minutes
exactly,
back
yeah.
to back to back.
Except for
To
like
back.
the couple minutes where we play that one song.
That's true.
Right,
Right,
yeah.
right,
But we
right.
picked that still. So.
Anyways, yeah,
Yeah,
thank you
that's
so
still
much for
us.
listening.
All right.
Thank you for listening. And
Have a good night.
Yeah.
Have a good night.
Yeah, have sweet dreams.